Hello. Hello, everyone. I was about to say happy Friday, but it's not Friday. My week is all thrown off with Monday having been a holiday. It feels like that holiday was forever ago. Um, but yeah, it's Thursday. So happy Thursday, everyone. When you're here, go ahead, say hello. I don't want to get started right away. I know there's a lag and people have to get notified. But go ahead, let me know that you're here. Tell me how your fall is going. I know it's not technically fall yet, but it might as well be, right? After Labor Day is pretty much like fall, so let me know how it's going for you. Say hi. I'm really excited about today. I knew that the title of today's live stream might alienate some people. Anytime you bring up money, people kind of get either really interested or really turned off. But hi, Holly. Hello. I didn't want to do this as a way to say, look at how much money I'm making and here's your magic pill, right? Because so you can make this much money too, because it doesn't work like that. But as a business coach, right, people who are paying me to coach them to reach a certain income want to know, what is my business? Like, I have to be totally transparent with my business. I feel like I have an obligation to be totally transparent, and not just with the results I'm getting, but everything it took to get me to where I am, the whole process, right? Whether I'm working with you one-on-one or I'm working with you in a group or I'm doing a Facebook Live like this. And hi, Jacqueline. Hello. How are you today? And so this topic, right, this topic came up because of a couple of conversations that I'm having with people, and I felt like I needed to pass on some of this information to you, and be really real about what it means to have a 20K month. What is that even, right? Because it's really not just 20K in the bank, right? So what does it mean to have a 20K month? What does it mean for the actions that go into it? What am I doing and what am I not doing? And what is it really like the peek behind the curtain, right? So that people know what I think is important in order to get here and how I got here. So yes, so that's what I'm going to talk about, right? The first things first, right, is that I didn't start here. It's not like I was overnight. Hi, Rashida. Hi, hello. I was not overnight at the level of success that I am, right? People, this is a really hard topic to talk about without being like, look at me, look at what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna put it all out on the table, right? So just know that I'm doing this because I really want to provide value and information. I want to be transparent. I really want to help people. I want to help people get to the business that they want to have. So, and I wrote a lot of notes, guys. Let me just, you guys know me and the notes. Right? Like, there's a lot that I want to talk about, but this came up because it's fall, right? So we're going to call this fall. It's after Labor Day, it's fall. And this is a time of year that I start hearing, there's so much going on in my business. I am so busy. I can't make it to this. I can't do this. I can't sign up for this course. It's not a good time for me to do this right now because there's just so much going on in my business, right? How many of you feel like that in the fall? Like, type it in the comments. Like, how many of you feel like, wow, there's so much that I want to do, but like right now is just there's so much to do in my business. I've got so much going on. My days are so full. I feel like I'm working all the time because there's just so much happening, right? Like that. This is the time of year that I start hearing that a lot. Tracy says, tell the weatherman it's fall, right? I know, it's not really fall yet. But how many of you feel like that? The fall hits and suddenly it's like someone turns on the faucet and you feel like there are a million things to do in a day and not enough time to do them, and you feel like there's so much that you're cranking out, and yet the list is still long, and there's still more that you have to do, and there's so much you want to take advantage of, but so much you can't take advantage of in your personal life and in business because there's just so much that you're doing, right? Does anybody feel like that? Type 1 or an emoji or just something in the comments so that I know, right? That I'm not the only one that feels like that sometimes, but that I hear that a lot, right? And I definitely felt like that in the earlier stages of my business. So I just entered my 4th year of business. I started full-time doing coaching back in 2014 as business coach, right? In 2012, I was part-time as a dating coach, 2012 to 2013-ish. 2013 to 2014, I was part-time as a dating coach slash business coach, and then I went full-time as a business coach in 2014. So when we're talking about my income, we're talking about whatever we're talking about today, just know I've been in business for 4 years full-time. But at the beginning of my business, right, I definitely felt like I was so busy. So Jacqueline's like, yes, I feel like that. It's a matter of prioritizing. Holly said it's seasonal. Right, Tracy's like me. I mean, what kinds of tasks are you guys doing in your business? Like, just type some of the things that you're doing in your business. I would love to see that in the comments while we talk. But so this is a time of year people start exploring coaching. They reach out to me for a clarity call because they want to talk about working with me as a private client, or as you all know, I am launching right now. I'm in the middle of launching 2 programs: my Take Bold Action group coaching program and my Wake Up and Win, like 1 month accountability program to get up early and be more intentional with your mornings. And so there's a lot of conversation going on about opportunities and options for people to coach and grow their business. And the response that I get is, I would love to be in the Take Bold Action program, for example. I would love to be in it, but I just don't have time right now. Like, with my kids going back to school and schedule change, and I've got some clients and I've got these projects, and there are a lot of tasks to do in my business. So I want to do that course, Rita, but I don't have time for it. Or I hear, Rita, I want to do Wake Up and Win. Will you do it again? Will you do another round of Wake Up and Win later? Because right now, it's not a good time for me to kind of be intentional with my mornings because there's so much going on in my day, personal, business, whatever. It's not a good time, right? So Holly's doing networking and vendor shows. Tracy's replying to tons of emails. Like, just keep some of the tasks that you guys are doing coming in, right? But so I'm having these conversations and everybody's like, I'm so busy. I want to take advantage of these wonderful things you're launching, but Rita, why did you have to launch them in September? Because there's just so much going on. So I started talking to everybody and really digging in, because you know me, for people who know me, I'm very curious, and I have no problems asking questions. So I asked these people, what are you doing? Like I just asked you, right? What are you doing? If you had to hand over your to-do list to me, what would your to-do list say? Right? If you had to hand over, like, I mean, I'm talking about the to-do list you don't want to show anybody because it's so messy and it's really not a list, it's like a novel, right? What would that to-do list say? And this is where people start telling me, well, I'm building a website and I'm building a website, I'm trying to create my business cards, I'm getting a logo done, I'm trying to come up with like a tablecloth and a backdrop for my vendor shows, I'm doing some Facebook ads, oh, I'm trying to get my Divi theme up for my website, I'm trying to link MailChimp to my whatever so that my email nurturing campaign would go. I'm trying to get my funnel together. Oh, I'm creating a course. I'm creating all of this content for this amazing course that I came up with. I'm putting an email sequence together. I'm revamping my LinkedIn profile. I'm doing a speaker one sheet, right? Like I'm checking emails. I'm returning emails. I'm scheduling appointments. I'm doing mailings. I'm doing my follow-up. This is the real list, guys. So what is on your list, right? If you were to hand over your to-do list to me, what's on it, right? I just listed a million things and I know that that's not the only thing, right? Oh, I'm ordering office supplies, I'm getting a new planner, it's the time of year of planners, right? I don't know how many hours of business building and profit making will be lost to shopping for the perfect 2019 planner for people, but I can guarantee that it's probably going to be a lot, right? But like, what are you guys doing if you were to really show me your to-do list? Now you guys are getting quiet, right? You guys are getting quiet. But then I ask, well, why are you doing these things? Okay, why are you doing all of these things? Why are you putting up your website? Why are you creating a logo? why are you, and the answer is, well, I need to start getting consistent cash and clients. And I'll say, well, were you getting consistent cash, consistent clients, consistent sales, and something stopped? And they'll be like, no, I'm really trying to hit, you know, I'll ask them about their revenue goals, and they'll say, I'm really trying to hit my first 5K month. I'm trying to hit, people like to talk in terms of K, right? Which is why I advertise this the way I did. You're going to find out that it's kind of irrelevant that it was my, you know, that I've hit 20K months. But like, it doesn't matter, right? 5K, 10K, 3K, 2K, whatever. People are like, I'm trying to hit this goal and be consistent with it. And to do it, I need more clients, and to do it, I need more business. So I'm creating a website, and I'm creating a class, and I'm creating some workbooks that I want to sell. And I need some business cards because I need to go out networking. So I need business cards so I can network. I need Facebook ads so people know about my opt-in, or so that people, you know, I need a free opt-in to grow my list. I need to create it. And then once I need to know how to send it out. Once people want my opt-in, I need to go into MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever and set it up. And I need a landing page. And so I have to figure out HTML code. And so the reason that they're doing all of these things, when I said, what are you doing that is taking up your whole day in your business? And they tell me, and then I say, why are you doing it? They're saying to get cash, to get clients, to get sales, right? Are any of you guys doing like all of that to get cash, to get clients, to get sales, right? And so when I'm hearing this, right, when I'm hearing that they don't have time for the things that they want to do, they don't have time for classes that they want to take that would actually help them grow in their industry or streamline their business or be more intentional with their mornings, right? They don't have time to hang out with their friends or their family or travel or do whatever it is that they want to do because their days are full of this stuff, right? So when I hear about it, and when I've been thinking about kind of like, somebody asked me on a clarity call the other day, Rita, how did you, like I mentioned, they asked me, or people ask me straight out on clarity calls, if I'm going to hire you as my business coach, Rita, I need to know what your income is. And I want to know what your income is and also what your profit is, right? Because if I'm going to pay you money, I need to know that you at least have some understanding of what it takes to get to the goals I want. So somebody asked me the other day, and I said I had actually reached a new stage in my business where I had made some consistent 20K months, and that was a new stage of business for me. And she was like, well, what did you do to get there? And I asked her what she was doing in her business, right? What she was doing. And she gave me that same list that I kind of like listed out to you. And I realized in that moment that it's not so important for me to talk about what I did, although I will, what I did to grow my business. And I'm going to talk about each stage, like going from $0 to $3,000, going from 3 to 5, going from 5 to 10, going from 10 to 20, right? Like, while I will talk about what I did, I realized that what's more important is to talk about what I did not do, because it's in what I did not do that the success came from, especially when I hear what everybody is doing. And I know my story, and I know what my difference was from the beginning. And I wanted to share that, and I wanted to pass that on with you today, which is how we got here. So if you don't know, I started out as as a dating coach. So I was a business attorney for about 13 years, left the law, got into date coaching. Funny story, not a story for today, but I got into date coaching. The important part is within 3 months, I had surpassed my attorney salary. Okay. And people say, well, what was your attorney salary? I mean, I wasn't making like $300,000 as an attorney, right? I was making, about, I don't know, $80,000, $90,000 as an attorney, right? And I surpassed that in 3 months. So people are like, well, how did you do that? Right? How did you do that? And when they're like, I'm at the beginning stages of my business, Rita, and I can't break $2,000. I can't break $3,000. I can't even get that consistently. Here is everything that I'm doing, right? So let's go back to that list, right? Here's everything that I'm doing. I'm creating opt-ins. I'm creating email nurturing campaigns. I've got my LinkedIn profiles up. I've come up with the perfect company name. I've got my website. I got my logo. I'm doing branding colors. I've got a speaker one sheet. I'm figuring out my ideal client. I'm like, Rita, I'm doing all these things. So why is my business not at where your business was when you first started. I didn't do any of those things, right? I mean, that's really it. Like, I didn't do any of those things when I started. I didn't have a website. I still don't have a website. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Didn't have a website. Didn't have an ideal client avatar. I didn't, in fact, I have a list of all the things that I didn't do. So hold on 1 minute. I didn't have a website. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have business cards. I didn't create a brochure. I didn't have social media profiles up. I didn't run Facebook ads. I didn't stress over my business name. I didn't have any kind of email sequence in place. I did have a MailChimp account because I knew I was supposed to kind of keep email somewhere. Didn't really know how to use it. I wasn't sending out a newsletter. I did not. So those are some of the tangible things, right? I'm going to talk about a little more, but I didn't do any of that for the first, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months of my business, even longer, as we're gonna talk about. I didn't do any of that. I didn't need to do any of that, right? None of those things get you clients, guys. Like, none of them get you clients. None of them get you paid. None of them, right? I mean, I'm not saying that they're not important, and I'm not saying that there isn't a time to do it. But here's the thing. When you're at the beginning stages of your business, or you're at a stage where you're not getting the consistent income and the consistent clients you want, and I ask you what you're doing, and you're saying, well, I'm doing these things, right? Then I'm going to know exactly why you're not making money. Right? And this happens at a couple of different stages of business. This happens when people are just starting. They feel like, well, before I go out in the world and get clients. How many of you felt like this? Like, just type it in. I mean, it's a normal thought, right? You think, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to go out and I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to get clients. But before I go get clients, before I go network, before I put out my first offering, I need to, right? I need to whatever. I need to have a website so that when people hear about me, they have somewhere to go. I need to have my LinkedIn profile done so that when people meet me at a networking event, they have somewhere to look. I need business cards to pass out at networking events. I need all my social media accounts up. I need a logo. I need a business name. I need to be able to stand up and say, the name of my business is, and so I can't do any of that, any of getting clients, any selling, any whatever, until I have all these things. Did anybody feel like that at the beginning? Or is anybody feeling like that now? Please just be honest. Like, this is an honest conversation, guys, right? Like, I had that thought for a quick second at the beginning, right? Luckily, I had hired a coach as one of my very first things, and she shut this down really quickly, right? I mean, within a day, okay? Within a day, she shut it down. She's like, nope, because I think it was that I said I wasn't going to go networking because I didn't have business cards. And she said, well, what is stopping you from asking for their business card? Nothing, right? So I went out networking, and from that moment, I just kind of threw all that other stuff out, right? You guys are being kind of quiet, so let's see what you're saying. At the beginning, yes, at the beginning, because I was told I needed to do that, right? Here's the thing, right? You're building a business before there's actually a business. Do you know what the difference is between a business and a hobby? Because I say this a lot. The difference between a business and a hobby is profit, right? You don't have a business until you have a profit. You only have a hobby. And there are lots of tax rules about how long that can go on before the IRS just doesn't even let you treat it like a business, right? For tax purposes. But like, so before, right? Like, before an actual business exists, people are popping up websites and they're getting logos designed and they're printing out business cards and they're getting their branding colors and they're setting up all their social media accounts and getting branded graphics and, you know, all of that stuff, right? But none of that matters, okay? None of that matters until you fully understand, what is the idea of my business? What is my business idea? What is it? What is it that I want to do? And who do I want to do it for? Now, I'm not talking about a very specific ideal client avatar. We're going to talk about that in a minute, right? But like, you have to understand, what is my concept? Who is it for? What does it do for them? And how is it different? How is it different, right? And you're going to find that out not by thinking about it. You're going to find it out by getting clients, right? By getting clients, by having conversations, by networking, by talking to people, by getting out there is how you're going to figure all of this stuff out. That's how you're going to vet your idea. That's how you're going to know who it's for. That's how you're going to understand what it does for them. And that's how you're going to know how it differs, by getting out there and doing it. And only after that should you then go and do the branding elements, right? The branding elements being a website, the branding elements being a logo, the branding elements being business cards, the branding elements being social media accounts, right? They matter, but they don't matter until you have those basic things. And you can't think those basic things into existence, right? You might have a concept or an idea, but you won't know until you're out there. So do you see like the chicken and egg situation, right? You need to get out there. You need to be talking to people. You need to be getting clients, customers, sales, putting your product in front of people, putting your service in front of people, trying it, tweaking it, doing all of this stuff in order to be able to do all of that other stuff. But yet you're not doing it because you feel like you need the other stuff to be able to go out and do the thing, right? So you stay stuck. And here's the thing. Those websites, those business cards, those social media accounts, those are fun, right? I mean, those are fun. For most people, they're fun. There's a fast payoff, right? It's instant gratification. I've written about the need for instant gratification before, right, with people. And I'm looking at Carmen says, preach, honey. Oh, that statement is brilliant, right? Like, so it's a fast payoff. It's instant gratification. I go to build a website, I can see a tangible result right away. I go to create a business card, I can see a tangible result. It's fun to talk to people on social media. It's fun to post on social media. It's fun to get lost down the black hole of social media, right? All of that stuff is fun with instant gratification. It pays off really quickly, right? The other stuff, getting out there, figuring out your concept and your idea, knowing who it's for, knowing how it's different, which again, you can only do over the course of time by working with people, talking to people, refining things, figuring things out, getting feedback, doing market research, doing all of this stuff, right? You can only figure it out by actually doing, by working your business, right? You can only figure that out by doing it. That's not instant gratification. That's not an easy line to see the results, right? That's not a fast payoff, and that's not fun for a lot of people, right? That's not the truly fun part. So what we do is we go and we waste all this time, right, on all of this other stuff. So when you're wasting time on like when I started my business, guys, I could have spent forever trying to come up with the perfect business name, right? I decided the business name was going to be Rita Goodrow LLC. I think I had Rita Goodrow Coaching. Rita Goodrow Coaching, because I at least knew I was coaching. Rita Goodrow Coaching LLC. I knew I could change it, right? I knew I could change the name, and I did. I changed it to Women's Business Garden LLC. And guess what, guys? As I was out there, as I was doing this refining and this tweaking and talking to people and figuring out what I do for them and what results I give them and who I work with and what it's for, it evolved even more. And now my company is Rita Made Me Do It, which is probably where it's going to stick, right? Rita Made Me Do It LLC. So if I had obsessed, right, if I had spent months, and I've had people that I've met spend months before thinking about their business name, right? And if I had spent that much time, that's just that much longer till I have a business, right? And here's the thing, time is not on your side when it comes to a business. So yes, I talk about it's okay to grow slow, and it is, right? You don't want to be an overnight, like you don't want to go hire people overnight, and you don't want to like build this real, you don't want to be that fire that burns hot really quickly and then dies out, right? You kind of want the flames, but you want them to grow, you want them to increase, you want the fire to get bigger. And time is not on your side when it comes to business, because again, in order for you to have a business, there must be a profit. And the longer that you wait to have a profit, right, the longer you don't have a business. And the longer that you don't have a business, right, then the more likely it is that it's not going to sustain and it's not going to, you know, it's not going to start. Does that make sense, guys? So you can always change your name, right? And these websites and these logos and these business cards and all of this, they don't matter right? To get started, what matters is getting started, and then you'll know how to go do these business cards. And so if you want a business card to feel, but we're going to talk about this in a minute, the mindset stuff. But if you feel for right now, I'll give you a pass. If you feel like you need a business card to go network, right? Go to Vistaprint and just pick a template, print it off. Don't obsess over it, right? But here's the thing, just like my coach told me that day, way back, I mean, this is in 2012, right? When I said, I don't have a business card, I can't go network. And she said, why do you need to pass out a business card? Why don't you collect business cards instead? And then you'll have control over emailing the people, right? So now, instead of waiting for people to email you, you have their information, you can email them, right? And they will give you a card, especially when you say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any cards right now, but I would love to take yours, right? Do you guys see my point? That we get like, so when I'm talking to these people about what are all the things you're doing to try to get to your 5K, your 10K, your 20K, and they're listing all of these tasks, right? Websites and getting email nurturing campaigns and creating opt-ins and putting plugins on their website and figuring out all of this stuff, right? What they're not doing is building a business. So what got me, you know, to my first like 5K, right? What got me there was by not doing any of that stuff. But what I did do was asked for what I called strategy sessions back then. So now I call them clarity calls. There's a whole reason why. If we have time at the end, I'll go into it, right? But I asked for strategy sessions. I got on the phone with anybody and everybody and talked to them about any or everything, right? I networked. I got out, networked in person, built relationships. I spoke. I spoke as many places as would have me speak. Guess what I did not have? Did not have a speaker sheet, right? I didn't even have a talk created. I just asked people if they accepted outside speakers. And if they said yes, I figured it out, right? What I didn't do, let's go back to what I didn't do. I didn't move slowly because I already talked about time not being on your side. So I didn't overthink things, right? Like I didn't overthink my business name. I didn't overthink my starter logo. I didn't didn't even have a logo. It was just my signature. I didn't overthink any of that. I just did it. I didn't stay attached to anything. I knew it was all going to change. I didn't stay stuck in perfection. I just started. I didn't need to know my ideal client in order to get a client. I just needed a client in order to figure out my ideal client, right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, like type an emoji in the comments so that I know, right? Like I didn't need to know who my ideal client was to get a client. I needed a client to know who my ideal client was, right? So I networked. I asked for clarity calls from any and everybody. I didn't turn people down who didn't fit the idea of who I wanted to work with. I did have vendor tables. I did have a vendor table. I did not have a tablecloth and a backdrop and everything figured out for it. I did take any client. I didn't have the perfect package or pricing figured out. I just quoted a price and got a client, right? I did bootstrap, right? So while I didn't do everything, like I said, it was more that I just cut things out. It wasn't that I had assistants and I wasn't really outsourcing at that time. I wasn't delegating. I just made a decision to not do things and then to bootstrap what I was doing. Right, so that was like from the first 0 to 5K. Okay, I didn't do it all, but I don't mean I delegated. Right, I meant I got very focused on what I was going to do, and that was networking, sales calls, speaking, vendor tables. Boom, right, and emailing and keeping in touch with the emails that I was getting, keeping the relationships going. It didn't have to be a fancy newsletter, didn't have to be a fancy way, right? And it wasn't, and I just did that, right? So that's what I did for like the first part of my income, okay? Now, as my business grew, I got more clarity around what really mattered, right? So at each stage of my business growing, I got more clarity about what mattered for me to be doing and what I should not be doing, right? So now I was getting traction, right? I was making consistent 5K months and I was doing the work and it was all good, right? So now my mind started turning to things like, oh, well, maybe I should like create passive income, right? Because you hear about that everywhere. Maybe I just need passive income. Maybe I need to create a course, right? I want to create a course. maybe I need to really hone in on now I'm paying attention to this stuff, right? Hone in on my ideal, where does she shop on a Saturday night, right? Now, I do that, and I tell my clients to do that at a certain stage, right? But like, but I started thinking those things, but I did not do them yet. So now we're talking about the 5K to like 10K, okay? 5K to 10K area. What did I not do? I did not create a course. I did not create passive income streams. I did not obsess over my ideal client. I did not make emotional decisions. I did not make decisions from my emotions. Okay, this is really important at like the 5 to 10K mark. You're gonna be really tempted to like let your feelings dictate your business as opposed to what's actually good for your business or for your target market or for your clients or for whatever. You're gonna get really attached to your ideas because now your business is cranking and you're rocking and you're rolling. So you're gonna come up with an idea and you're gonna put it out there, and then if nobody like resonates with that idea, you're gonna feel a little crushed. If you put something out after getting traction and it doesn't take off, you're gonna feel a little deflated. You're also then gonna feel a little emotional about it. You're gonna decide that didn't work. You're not gonna do this again. Maybe you should wrap it up. It's really funny that the stage from like 5 to 10,000 is when a lot of businesses start folding, right? When they try to grow, and then the growth isn't happening in the same way that it did in the initial stages, and so they decide, oh, it's not working, see, I should have never done this, and they wrap it up, right? But that's because they're tempted to start focusing at this stage on all those things that we just talked about, right? That maybe you can start thinking about at this point. But I still think, I mean, I still don't have a website, guys. I'm at 20K months, I still don't have a website. Now, that's when we get there, I'm gonna talk about that because that's not 100% accurate. But what I didn't do at the 5 to 10K, didn't create the courses, didn't create passive income, didn't obsess over my ideal client, didn't make decisions from my emotions. I didn't stay attached to any idea or anything. I didn't have fancy banners. I still didn't have any of that, right? What I did do was have just a generic, really quick logo that I think I got somebody from Fiverr.com to create. I know that all of my graphic designers out there are like, oh, right, it was just my signature. I just had it done as like the vector file or whatever so I could put it on things. Because again, at this stage, my company name was Women's Business Garden. Boy, am I glad I did not invest thousands and thousands of dollars in branding that, because that's not my business, right? Like what I do hasn't changed, but the way I've branded it did, as I figured out who my clients were, as I figured out what I really did for them, as I figured out what made me different. And that took a couple of years, guys. That takes a couple of years of working with people and doing things to figure all of that out, right? So what did I do during that 5 to 10K, right? I really dialed into my market. Now notice what I said, my market, not my ideal client, right? And what I mean by my market are the people who were attracted to me. Okay, so it wasn't even really a target market. I started paying attention to it so I could figure out who my target market was at this point. But I didn't have it all figured out before going out to try to get a client. It was because I had all these clients that I was able to start seeing who really resonated with me. Who was I really able to help? Who did I enjoy helping? Who did I do all of this with, right? So I really, in the 5 to 10K mark, I really dialed into my target market, or my market, my target market, meaning I think a friend of mine says amazing clients, right? Who are the amazing clients for me? And that was based off goals and values, not, you know, all these demographics. So I started paying attention to those people that I really resonated with and that resonated with me, and I started getting clear on what I needed to offer them based off of what they wanted, which means I did market research. Okay, so between the 5 to 10K, I did a lot of market research with those people to get to know what they wanted and what they needed. Because remember what I didn't do? Get attached to my own ideas and what I wanted to do, right? That didn't matter. That's not why you're in business. It's like a lot of people have this, I want to do this because I think this is a great idea and I'm going to put it out into the world with no market research and no asking people if they think this is a great idea before I do it. And then nobody's going to, it's crickets when you put it out there, and you feel deflated and you feel defeated, and you feel, a business is about giving results to the market. So you have to figure out what results they want, what will get them there. You also have to figure out what they want, right, and what they need. That's why when I said what I didn't do between the 5 to 10K mark was create courses, here's what I mean by that. Because a lot of you are going to look back and be like, Rita, you were absolutely leading courses during that time. I was. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't create a course and then sell it. I sold it and then created it. Do you guys get that? Do you guys know what I mean by that? I had an idea, right? I had an idea at the time for 100 days to bloom your business or whatever my course was back then. I had an idea for it. I tested it by putting it out there. Hey guys, I'm thinking of this, right? I'm thinking about this. Well, I'll even go back further than that. My date coaching, my first group date coaching program. It was, I have an idea for this 8-week group coaching program about dating, and here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about these things over the course of 8 weeks. Week 1 this, week 2 that, week 3. Here's kind of an idea of how it will work. Who's interested, right? And I got back feedback. Interested. So then I sold it. Okay, so then I sold the course. I said, great, it's this much here. I didn't even have a sales page for it. They had to call me on the telephone, and I had to manually enter their credit card number into my Square payment system, right? But I did it back then. That's what I did. What I still didn't have as I was taking the payments was the course created, right? I can't tell you how many people I see, especially at that 5 to 10K mark, that are creating all of the content in their courses, and they're structuring it, and they're putting it online, and they're putting it on Teachable, and they're putting it on all of these sites, right? And then they go to sell it and nobody buys it. Nobody buys it. And they're like, what happened, right? Because either they're marketing it wrong because they didn't do market research, or they structured it wrong, or they created something people didn't want, right? That's why market research, like Flora says here in the comments, like market research is so important, right? Especially with products, guys, but definitely with services. You can't overlook it, right? It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's super important, right? So, but market research doesn't have to be this formal market research. It can literally be a post or something you put out to your audience. I've got this brainstorm. I'm thinking about this. Who's interested? Great. Sell it. Get the money. And guess what? You will create that course. Once you have the money, you're going to create it. Right? What you're not going to do is want to refund that money. Right? Especially at the beginning. Let's just be honest. You're not going to want to refund it. So you're going to come up with that course. And I created that course. I was 1 week ahead. I was 1 week ahead of the course, right? And that's how I do every first version of my course, because I'm usually refining it and tweaking it as we go along anyway, based on who took it, who signed up for it, right? So if you have those ideas, right, like here's the thing, if you think I have to have my whole course created and I have to have it all online, I have to have it perfect and professional videos and all, if you get hung up in that perfection trap, right, that I need to have it all done in order to get people to buy it, right? First of all, you might take forever in getting it out there. Remember what we said at the beginning, when you're growing your business, time is not on your side. Profitability is what creates the business, and you have to be profitable. And creating the course isn't what makes the profit. Selling the course is what makes the profit, right? So if you get, and I know a lot of people, again, this is the attract, it's more fun to create the course. It's more fun to figure out the modules. It's more fun to, and when I say fun, that's relative, right? But it's more fun to record the videos. It's more fun to do this. It's more fun. So you will take forever to do that because you are dreading what's not fun to you, which is selling it, telling people about it, hearing their reactions to it, asking people if they want to buy it. And you're especially dreading it because now you're super attached to it. Right? You're super attached to it because you just spent 3 months creating this whole big thing, and now you're going to put your baby out into the world. It's like birthing a baby, right? You know, you're going to put it out into the world, and people are either going to like it or they're going to think it's not that cute of a kid, right? And you're going to hear the reactions to it, and you don't want to, especially if you're a perfectionist, you don't want to know. So now you're going to delay it and drag it even more, and eventually you might not even do it at all after you spent that much time on it, right? Or you're gonna really be dreading it and have low energy and not get the results that you want when you put it out, because we all know that results are what, you know, your results are off your energy, right? So instead, sell it first. Put the teaser out there. Find out if people like it or want it. If they don't, come up with something that they do. Ask them, what do you like about this? What do you not like about it? What would you want to see different? What would you want offered, right? And then create it. Create what they want. Do the market research and create what they want. Put out a teaser and see if people are interested. Then sell it. Get the money. Once you have the money, then create it, right? Create it as you go. So what I didn't do to get to 20K months is hold on to perfectionism. I didn't hold on to having to perfectionism is having to know who your client is before you go get your client, right? Didn't do that. Got clients to figure out who my ideal clients were. Perfectionism is having to have a whole course planned out and structured and created and whatever before you sold it, right? No, you sell it to see if you need to create a course, right? Like, you guys don't say, I didn't need a company name in order to go out and start my business. I just needed something, anything. I could have called it ABC123 Company, right? And go out there to see if people liked what I had, if my concept was good, right? Then I could go create my branding to match what was happening as I worked with people and how people were seeing me. So one of the biggest things was I did not stay trapped in perfectionism, right? In order to, so still, right? What I will say though, is that this 5 to 10K stage, what I was doing was format. So now I was sending out a newsletter, right? So I was formatting my newsletter. I was checking my emails. I was fixing my schedule in Time Trade, which is my scheduling system for client calls. I was having my client calls. I was leading some group programs. I was posting on all the social media. I was creating my content live as I posted. I was writing my newsletter the day or the day before it was going live. I was answering all correspondence. I was doing networking. I was on social media. I was figuring out my MailChimp. I was creating an email nurturing campaign. I was designing all of my opt-ins because I still was in a mindset at that time of 5 to 10,000 that it was like, yeah, I'm making money, but like I could do all of this, so I don't need to pay somebody to do it. So is anybody at that stage of their business, right? Because I think we've all been there, right? And that stage of business where you're like, I mean, there's no reason for me to pay somebody to respond, to read, to sort, and respond to my email because I can do it and I don't get that many emails, right? Or, oh, it only takes me 20 minutes to create this PDF flyer, so I can do it. I don't need to outsource it. Or, oh, I can go on my website and I can just update that. I don't need to pay somebody to do that. It only takes me 30 minutes, right? Oh, I can go in and type up my newsletter and format it. I've got a template. I do it. I send it out, right? Oh, I can look at who opened. I can handle customer service request. Like each little thing only takes a couple of minutes, right? And I can do it. I'm capable of doing it. Oh, I know how to go and do the code on my website, so I can go update that content on my website. Oh, I know how to use Twitter and I know how to use Instagram, so I can go do the posts during certain time. Like, how many of you be honest, are doing that stuff in your business with that? Yeah, so Tracy's like me, Jacqueline's like, yes, like, right? It is more crucial than ever at that stage. Now, remember, I was not outsourcing any of that. I wasn't from my 0 to 5K mark, right? From 0 to 5K, I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it. I focused on a very narrow business strategy to grow my business. Networking, vendor tables, sales calls, and speaking, right? Speaking for free. That's all I did. So anything that wasn't that, anything that was not like a profitable, right? Basically what I was asked, so profitable, I didn't, getting me money right away, I didn't do. At the 5 to 10K rate, some of that started changing. I started having an audience. I started having a community. I started having more of the admin type stuff come to me because of everything that was happening from the business building. So I started in that area, right, to do all of this stuff because it was like, it only takes me a little bit. I don't have to send it out, right? But then I stopped because my income had kind of plateaued, or it was taking me a long time to get to a consistent 10K. Like I would hit a 10K and then I would like go back down. I would hit another high, I would go back down. It wasn't like consistent. And I was kind of frustrated by it. And I was talking to my coach and it was like, one day we were on the phone. It's like, look, every day I should be working on things that make profit. And that's it. I am the person that makes the profit in my business. I am the CEO. I am the service provider. If it's not directly a profit-making activity, I shouldn't be doing it, right? So what I started doing in the 5 to 10K mark I was dialed into my market. I was doing market research. I was getting really clear on them. I was understanding who my amazing clients were. I was looking at goals and values and surrounding myself with clients like that instead of obsessing about an ideal client. I was doing market research. I was testing ideas. I was selling them before I created. I let go in the 5 to 10K mark, guys, of passive income. That was not a thought. It was a thought. I didn't execute on it. There was no, oh, I just need an ebook and sell it for $17. Oh, I just need to create a worksheet and sell that for $7. Oh, I'm just going to do this recording and so, because I was not consistently making the income that I wanted, right? And if I pulled away attention from doing that to these little things, I will say it is much easier to get one person to pay you $1,000 than it is to get 100 people to pay you $10, okay? It is much easier with your time and your effort and your energy to get one person to pay you $1,000 than to get 10 people to pay you $100. Oh, Elena just hired someone. Yay, I love it, I love it. Okay, right, you guys get it? So I let passive income go because that was not going to serve me. That was just going to take away time and effort and energy and get me more money slowly. That was going to grow my revenue slowly, right? And I wasn't there yet. So I let the passive income go between the 5 to 10K mark, right? I made decisions based on logic. Remember I said I was not making emotional based decisions at this stage. I was able to do that because I was now clear on those important things because I focused on them. What my target idea was, who it was helping, what I was helping them with, how it differed, and what my profitable kind of items were at that time based off of working with people, where my money was, the active one-on-one income, right? So I was able to make decisions for my business from a logical place. I gave customers, clients what they wanted, right? And I started then outsourcing more. So as I started nearing the 10K mark, and I started getting more and more consistent 10K months or close to it, I said, you know what, for me to break this plateau, I have to honor what I'm telling other people, which is like, do only what you can do. Right? Do only what you can do. And so I started doing, guess what, guys? I don't have to do a lot. There's a lot I don't have to do in my business, right? What I have to do is coach my clients. I have to run my programs, right? So that's coaching. I have to actually serve my clients by doing the one-on-one or the group coaching. I have to coach, right? I am not at a stage, or nor do I have the desire to add other coaches to my business, okay? So I have to coach. I have to do that. I have to have the sales conversations. That's me. I have to have the sales conversations. I have to create the content. Okay, because my content, as you guys know, like these Facebook Lives or the articles I write or the newsletters I put out, my newsletters are not form, pre-purchased, done for you. It is a letter from Rita to you now twice a week. Come into your inbox live 2 times a week. Woo, right? Oh boy, did the unsubscribes happen when I did that. But the people who love me want to hear from me 2 times a week. They love my emails. They look forward to them, right? So I have to write them. So I'm writing my content that you see everywhere. I'm coaching my clients. I'm doing my sales calls, and I have to go out networking, right? The equivalent of outsourcing those is like outsourcing working out and wondering why it's not working for you. Oh, Kathy, thank you. That's my husband gave me this mug. He says I'm Wonder Woman. Outsourcing those things is like outsourcing running on the treadmill and saying, why am I not losing weight, right? So I can't outsource those. But guess what I can outsource? Every freaking thing else, guys. This video is going to go up on YouTube, right? After this. It's not going to be because I put it there. It's going to be because my assistant put it there, right? My newsletter, I just either say, hey, this is the content that I want to go as my newsletter. She goes and creates it. In fact, this is not good, but I don't even know how to log in to look at my newsletter statistics. Like, cause I had her move me to ActiveCampaign from MailChimp, and I don't even know how, I don't know how to log in. And look, it's probably better that way. So I ask her for everything, right? How many people clicked on this link? How many people, whatever. Adding closed caption to stuff. I hired a website developer, right? So I have finally hired a website developer. There is going to be a website up. If you go to ritamademeidoit.com, there is a landing page up, right? Where you can download something. Didn't do any of it. I didn't do any of that, right? I told somebody what I wanted, and they did it, right? Literally, my emails, I'm not the first line person that checks my work email, right? I check my personal email, right? I'm not the person that checks my work email first. My assistant goes in and she sorts it. She says, this is something you need to reply to today. This is something that doesn't need a reply. This is something where an appointment needs to be scheduled and I'm not sure where to schedule it, right? So she sorts them into different folders. That way, the things that don't need a reply, which tend to be like my newsletters and, you know, just like, hey, Rita, it was great seeing you. Take care. See you soon. And all of that, right? Or little notices or whatever. I check those once a week. I just check those once a week. I don't have to read them every day as they come in, right? I only have to look at that folder that says reply today. Reply needed today, right? I don't have to look at the other folders. She schedules my appointments for me. She deals with reschedules for me. She's helping me submit applications to things. She's doing all the legwork on my speaking engagements, right? I have literally outsourced everything almost. I'm sure there's some things that I probably still got a bookkeeper, right? So this is at the 10K mark. That's what got me to the 20K mark, right? What got me to consistent 20K months was outsourcing everything, right? Now remember, what got me to the 10K mark was just not doing it, right? Or very quickly outsourcing it or doing the bare bones, right? So to back up for a minute, between the 5 and 10K mark, you guys like heard me say, yeah, I was doing newsletters and I had a landing, I was doing the stuff, right? I hadn't yet outsourced it and I needed to start doing it. I needed to start sending out a weekly newsletter. What I still didn't do was get hung up in perfection over it. I did only what had to be done. I included only what needed to be included on my website for me to get business, right? So if you go to Rita Made Me Do It, you'll see it's not a fancy website, right? Like I included only what needed to be done. I included only a very basic workbook for an opt-in. I did not have it fancy with audios and videos and a funnel that filters you through China. Like, you know, I didn't do any of that, right? I didn't have fancy like graphics. I mean, I had some basic graphics, right, that I created a little bit. I had a basic logo. Like, I did not get hung up in perfection and have it all be perfect, right? So either I started outsourcing it very quickly at the 5 to 10K mark, or if I still held on to it, I did the bare minimum basic of what needed to be done in order for my business to grow and for me to get to do what I had to do, which was the profit, right? Generating profit. And then, right, then once I hit the 10K mark and I knew I wanted to grow my business more, everything else, I just let it all go, right? I mean, I outsource it all. I do it all now, but it's not me. For almost everything that pops up, I pass it on, right? But what I am still doing, networking, serving my clients, writing my content, right? Creating the content. I'm not formatting it. I'm not putting it into PDFs. I'm not like none of it, right? And that's how I can streamline, right? That's how I can streamline. So when I say 20K months, let me say, what do I mean by that, right? Because I said I would tell you that, right? What do I mean by 20K months? It doesn't mean that I'm making a 20K profit, guys, right? I'm not making a 20K profit, but I did go in and figure out what my profitability is. I am at, when I make 20K, I'm profiting about so I'm taking away payment processing fees out of that. I'm taking away, you know, all of my software payments, all of my virtual assistant payments or any other team payments, the coach that I pay for, you know, I'm taking away all of that, taxes, putting aside taxes, right? It's like 25% goes to taxes. Then all of my like software and my coach, that's probably about 1,500 total, maybe a little more than that. And then I'm paying out like virtual assistant stuff, right? So out of that, let's say that maybe, right, I'm 14,000, right, is what I'm making after all of that. So when I say 20K months, I don't mean a 20K profit. I mean I'm consistently generating 20K in revenue, right? And people are like, oh my God, you're so fancy. I had somebody tell me that the other day, oh, you're so fancy. Like, guys, right? It's not a magic pill. It's not like, oh, look at me and the 20K is just showering. I'm taking a shower in $20,000. It's just happening because people are clicking on my website and buying things, right? No, but it's because I've gotten very strategic about my offerings. I know who my private clients are. I was able to create a package that gives them the results that they want, right, at a price point that I know that they can comfortably afford, right? Or at least be able to afford, that they want, that they feel good about. Because I had clients, right? Because I had clients, I was able to create the things that then my clients feel good about, right? I know what courses work, and I know what the course, because I did them, I created them in the way I talked about, right? I tested them. I knew which ones did well and which ones didn't. I didn't get attached. I let go of stuff, right? So now I'm only doing those things that only I can do, right? And I'm being strategic about it. So I'm doing the right actions. I'm doing only the actions that matter to make money in my business. And I'm doing them the right way. And I'm doing them consistently, and I'm letting go of the rest, and I'm unattached to stuff, right? So what made the difference in my business and got me to where I am? Streamlining actions. And I did it from the beginning, like I said, just how I did it was different. And I continuously kind of gradually kept streamlining. So at first I streamlined by not doing them at all. Then as I had to do things, it was do the bare minimum, right? And then outsource. And now it's outsource it all and do it, do it well, do it full out with the people I'm outsourcing to. And me then having all of this time to do the things that I want to do, right? So back to what started this. The people that say, Rita, I know you're doing take bold action, get big results. And I am. Guys, I am on, this closes soon, right? The cart closes on Sunday for take bold action, get big results. And that's the entire purpose of the program. The entire purpose of the program is to grow your business through action. And you're only going to do the actions that matter to grow your business. So I'm only going to have you take action on the things that you have to do. You will not take action on the things that you don't have to do, so that you're being smart and you're being effective about your business. Now, there are some areas where you don't have to do them, but you still want to learn about them. And in those areas, I'm still only going to have you do the actions that are the bare minimum, like what I talked about, between the 5 to 10K. So you know they exist, you know how to outsource them, and you know what the bare minimum is to do, but you're not doing all of it. You're only doing the bare minimum, or you're only going all in on the actions that matter to get the consistent clients, to get the consistent cash, to get the consistent revenue, whatever that is for you, right? That's the entire reason I created the program, is so people can stop doing all the things that they're doing that they don't have to do, that don't make a difference and don't bring them the results and don't bring them the goals that they want in their business, no matter what level that they're at, right? And so that's what take bold action is. Well, the people that are saying to me, oh my gosh, this sounds great, taking action and growing my business, but I'm so busy in my business doing all of this other stuff that doesn't matter that I don't have time. I don't have time for the class. I don't have time for my family. I don't have time. If you guys just stopped, right? If you honed in and focused and went deep on only those actions that you must do, and that means either not doing certain things or outsourcing certain things based on where you are. But if you just went deep, like what we talked about, and streamlined those, then you would have time for everything that you want to do, right? Instead of having no time for the things you want because you're so stressed over linking MailChimp to your Hotmail account, to your lead page, to kick out your opt-in, right? Like, how many people have stressed out over this tech stuff? I'm so stressed out because my plugin isn't working on my WordPress site and it's not kicking the email addresses to the thing, and my website, the gold isn't showing up on the blue, and I can't get my email signature line to look the way I want, and I'm gonna cry, and I'm so stressed, and I'm so tired because of all of this stuff that does not matter. Because remember, I grew my business successfully by getting clients, any client, not my ideal client, any client. Didn't have packages, didn't even have a consistent pricing structure. I just talked to people. I met people. I got visible, right? I took on clients, and then I figured it all out, right? Then I figured it all out. So if you guys just did this stuff, right? And then you would have time. You wouldn't be stressing over all of the stuff that doesn't matter. You would only be doing the stuff that matters. You would be letting go for now of the stuff that doesn't, which is a lot of marketing-based stuff, a lot of stuff, until you reach a certain level of your business, in which case you'll start incorporating it in. And then you'll do still only the portions of it that matter until you can comfortably outsource it, or outsource the rest of it, or do whatever, right? And then you're still only going to do only the things that you can do, the things that nobody else can do. That's how you get to 20K months, Okay. Now, yeah, sure, there's revenue streams and revenue strategy, and there's strategies and all of that, right? Yeah, we go into that in the Take Bold Action program. I go into that with my clients, right? But that stuff is like, it's not as important as the big piece that I talked about here, which is stop looking at all the things you're doing and start asking what you don't have to do, right? And you don't have to do the things that I just shared with you. So I don't know if anybody has questions or anything like that. I'd love to answer them. Hopefully you found this to be really helpful and really useful, right? And as my business keeps growing, because I'm not at my plateau, right? Baby got goals, right? Baby got goals. Like my husband, we got goals, right? As I continuously grow my business, I just get clearer and clearer on what matters. And I love to pass that on to people, right? So I ran Take Bold Action, Get Big Results, that group coaching program. There was a round already, and it's already been revamped and revised. I took out things that ended up not mattering, right? Because back then I was at a different level in my business. Now I'm at a higher level. I have taken out things that don't make it, that I don't think matter, to get those participants to the goals that they want. I have streamlined and made more efficient some of the areas that they do need to know about, but still focusing them on doing only what matters, because Take Bold Action, Get Big Results, that entire program is action. You will have a quick, short 30-minute lesson at the beginning of every week for 12 weeks. That action, from that action and that workbook that you fill out that goes along with it, you're going to end up having one goal for the week. That goal is broken down into 3 steps, and you're going to go out and do the 3 steps so that you're learning as you go. And then we're going to refine your business on the back end. You're selling and then creating. You're doing and then figuring out. You're out there, right? Nobody runs programs like that. But that's the way that you get a successful business. And so when I was thinking about, oh my gosh, this is how I grew my business, why am I not teaching people what I did, right? Like, why am I not teaching in the same way that I actually did it? That's what Take Bold Action, Get Big Results group coaching is about. You will go out and grow. You will take action in your business. You will grow it. You will move it forward, and you will use that growth and the learning to refine and tweak and move up to the next level, and so on and so on, right? So if you're interested in that program, the cart closes on the 9th. And right now, I mean, it's a low price, right? In fact, if you sign up today, I'm going to offer everybody who signs up, right, the private coaching bonus, which just expired yesterday. I got the last sign up for it. But everybody who signs up today, I'll give you the hour coaching, private coaching bonus for free. It's a very low cost program because I want people to do this. I want people to take action in their business, right? Rita made me do it. I want people to take action and realize big results. Bold action, big results, right? That's my tagline, and that's what I want people to do. So the program is $497. It's a 90-day program. It's a 12-week program, or they're installment payments. You can make 3 installment payments, right? You're going to get the entire program. You're going to get a community of, I think right now we're up to like almost 20 women who have signed up for this program. You're going to have accountability partners, you're going to have office hours. You're going to have daily contact with me in the group. You're going to have a short video lesson. You're going to have workbooks. You're going to have, you're going to have the structure, the coaching from me, eyes on it. You're going to be taking action, right? But most importantly, you're going to learn your strategy. You're going to create the strategies for networking, for speaking, for clarity calls or strategy sessions or consults or sales calls or whatever you call them. You're going to have a scheduling system and a calendar that works for you. You're going to know what tasks you need to be doing, and you're going to be doing them. And you're going to be doing it all: sales and marketing and lead generation and speaking and vendor tables and all the stuff that matters through action. And you're going to refine it for your business, and then learn how to outsource in creative ways the things you don't need to be doing. Or, right, you're going to go ahead and learn, if I have to do it, here are the only pieces that matter for right now, so that we can focus on growth. Remember, time is not on your side with the business. We need to focus on growth. We need to focus on profitability. And then as you grow that and you get the strategies and you get that in place by doing, you can't think your strategies into existence. You have to go out and do them and then create the strategies, right, by refining them and tweaking them. Then when you have it, you're going to be at the next level of your business, right? So I'm going to put that link in the comments right now. So if you guys want to check out that Rita Made Me Do It, .lpages, .codes, and you will get to see an example of a lovely sales page that my lovely assistant created for me, because I did not create the sales page. I created the class, right? I did not create the sales page, right? So, so what you need to do, right, what you guys need to do is, if you're interested in that, check it out. If you have questions, let me know. And if you want to take advantage of that today so you can get the 1 hour private coaching bonus, that's yours. Just sign up. I'll know that anybody who signs up today did it as a result of this. But that's the entire reason of the program. I'm so tired of hearing people say that they're stalled and they can't get the 5K months or 10K months or whatever K months they want to have. I don't care, 2K months, whatever it is. But I'm tired of hearing people say, I'm so busy, I'm working all the time, there's so much to do, I don't feel like I'm getting the results. And as I dig into it, I realize they're either really not doing anything, or they're not doing the right things, or they're not doing the right things consistently. They're full of doing these things that don't matter, that they don't need to do. And I understand why, because the mindset hasn't been addressed in a lot of it, right? So all of that comes together in this program to help you just take action to get results so that you can tweak, refine, up-level your program. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. If you guys have any questions here right now, let me know. I would love to answer any of them. I see Crystal says, thank you for the live video. I listened while driving to pick up my kid. Looking forward to the rest on replay. Seema's, I missed the beginning, but I intend to go back and listen. Good, right? Like, guys, I'm just going to be transparent, right? I remember once I sent out an email saying something about how I had hit my first 6-figure year. And I mean, I had people unsubscribe like crazy, right? And some people emailed me saying, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this list. Everything is amazing. And I had some people say, I don't want to hear how much money you make. I don't want to hear it, right? But as a business coach, again, I think it is my obligation and my duty to tell you the trajectory of my business growth and where it is and how I'm getting there, right? And that it's not a pill. There is no magic formula. There is no, here is the system that will get you the 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K months, whatever. Like, there isn't that, right? None of that exists. I kind of wish it did. I kind of wish it didn't, right? But none of that exists, right? And so I'm not selling that to you, right? There is no ease without effort. It's not about instant gratification. It's about being strategic and taking action and taking the right action and streamlining, right? And sometimes you need some help to do that, because as a solopreneur especially, it can be very, very hard and very easy to feel like you're alone, that you can't ask for help, that you're getting lost in the weeds. You start getting very reactive. You don't really know what to do or how to do it. And when you have a community of people around you and a coach guiding you and helping you, right, implement those things, and if you do it, if you stay open to it, if you stay open to what we talked about, if you can let go of the attachment to needing the business cards and the logos and the fancy this, and you really understand the concept of, I really can't have any of that, right? It's just wasting time to do any of that until I know who I'm talking to, and until I know who I'm marketing to, until I know what I'm doing for them and what they want and how they want it and what feels good to me. And I can't think all of that into existence. I have to go out and do it to be able to then refine it and arrive at where I need to be. You guys will find that your business will grow with ease, which does not mean without effort, okay? So that's it. That's what I wanted to share about and Seema, yeah, right? I mean, yeah, some people, so see, that's another video for another day, Seema. Money mindset, money triggers, relationship with money, all of that, right? And I'm not worried about it. Like, I would much rather be here giving the information to the people who really want it and really need it than not. So again, if you've been thinking about the Take Bold Action program, please, I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am for this to start. 90 days, mid-September, all the way through right before the holidays. So you can go into the holidays streamlined with money, with strategy, feeling good, right? Instead of feeling stressed out, you'll be ahead of the game for the new year, but you'll be doing it alongside like 20 other women that are having fun. You're going to be with me. I'm going to be coaching you, my eyes on your business, helping you take action, the right action, helping you refine it, tweak it, and giving you all of those things so you're not spending time creating it. You get templates, done for you resources, you get language for follow-up. I mean, you get stuff that you need so you can just take action and do it and be focused on taking action in the right areas the right way, okay? So please check that out. I would really love to have you guys join me, and that's all. that's what I wanted to share today. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. with another fun video, so stay tuned for that. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's called The Thing About Sales That Doesn't Work Is ... So I'm going to talk about sales a little bit and what doesn't work, and that's a fun video. So I will see you tomorrow at 2. If you have questions, let me know. Reach out to me here privately if you have questions about the program. I would love, if you want to call me and talk to me for 15 minutes or so to see if it's the right fit for you, I would love to do that as well. I am a big one on not being indecisive and getting to a clear yes or a clear no, making your decision and moving on so that your energy is focused in the right places. And I hope you found this helpful. So take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.